Okay, so let's just settle and try and bring your mind to the same place your body is. And just see what's bubbling up to the surface as you settle down. And whatever it is, just remember it's okay. No cause for alarm. And check your body, your feet, your knees, the legs, the sits bones, hands, shoulders are over the hips, and just lengthen your spine. You just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine you're lengthening your spine. Maybe someone is above you, like a puppeteer. And the head is slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. And bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth. And the back of the head and your scalp there, the ears, the temples, the inner ear, the jaw, back of the tongue. Release any tension in the back of the neck and allow your shoulders just to drop down. Release the tension around your shoulder blades, let them drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly, limbs, hands, fingers and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath, noticing the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And just notice if there's any sounds in your environment. What sounds are there? What can you hear? What is drawing your attention? So try not to follow the sounds, and then just very gently bring your attention back to the breath, noticing the air flowing in and flowing out. And then just check your thoughts again. What's arising? What is bubbling up to the surface? And again, try not to judge your thoughts or have opinions about them or even follow them off into some strange, weird direction. And bring the mind back to the breath. And just imagine you're sitting on the bank of the river and you're watching the river flow by. And is your river choppy? Or is it running smoothly? Is it running fast? Are there rapids and eddies? Are there boulders and rocks? What does your river look like? So just imagine you're sitting on the bank and you're just watching calmly, without any opinions, without getting entangled. It's just flowing on by and you're free from the river while you're sitting there, just watching. So take a nice deep breath, just relax, keep lengthening the spine, just very gently. And now bring to mind all these people of your life. You know, our very dear friends, our community, our people. You know, some of us are very lucky to have a wonderful bunch of neighbours around. Our Dharma community, our loved ones, our spouses and children, best friends. And then we have a few people in our life that perhaps we have some difficulty with, Maybe we don't have a choice about whether they're there or not. Maybe they've harmed us and we need to stay away. And then there's those people who are just complete strangers. So these people can all change place at any time, surprisingly enough. The person you think you're going to love forever may not necessarily be. You might not have the karma to be together forever, for one reason or another. That person that you don't like, you might have the karma for that to change. Then you might love them. So they can all change place. It's possible. So we need to allow our minds to be more flexible. And they're all deserving equally of our concern because they all have this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind, just like you. They all have this really strong wish just to be happy and to be free of problems, just like you. But they always do manage to run into them. Problems, manage to not really get what it is they ever want. So I think we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life and for all sentient beings. So I think with this purification process, maybe something happened today you want to purify. But just remember, there's no negativity that cannot be purified. There's nothing you've done that can't be purified. It's all doable, it's all workable. And there's no judgment. So the first step of this process is regret. And it's pretty much an adult taking responsibility kind of regret. It's not guilt. There's no blame. It's just regret. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma. And given that we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, we maybe want to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as suffering for us in the future. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can imagine also here's your guru manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful, white light, and sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although it just kind of grows out of a muddy pond, when it opens, it's pristine. So this is the same as your enlightened mind. It grows out of your delusions, but yet it's always going to be pristine. This is who you really are, actually. So his face is radiant and beautiful. His eyes are long like lotus petals and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, which represents wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you may have harmed recently, and then also think of people who've harmed you. And maybe it's a little bit more difficult because you kind of feel like well, they deserve to suffer. But try not to think like that. Think that because they've harmed you, they will suffer. You never know when it's going to ripen for them, and because of that, you want to have a wish for them to be free from suffering. You feel sorry. It kind of pains you a bit. So have compassion for them. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, the doing of the practice of purification. So we think initially we're going to purify the body. So Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or a waterfall, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with the body. So next is the purification of the speech, and again Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So it's just the same, you know, when you go into a kitchen and you just fill up a dirty glass in the sink, or a dirty bowl, cereal bowl or something, all the bits float up to the surface. It's the same here. You just imagine all the kind of the muck of your speech, except it kind of overflows quite forcefully. It's not just overflowing, it's, Lama Rinpoche would say, it's quite forceful. So imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So you can just imagine that, say someone comes to you with a problem, and they're wanting to talk to you about something that's maybe quite personal or quite intense for them, and somehow you have the right words to say to kind of heal their heart. Well, this takes wisdom, but also purification of speech, to be able to know what to say, to be that kind of friend. So, something to think about. So purification of the mind. Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when we walk into a dark room and we switch on a light. That light is instantly dispelled. So just as the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the attachment and neediness and anger and depression, anxiety, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, all instantly dispelled by this light and this mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of your suffering, all of our own suffering, our own delusions, nothing else causes us suffering other than what's going on inside our mind. And the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, totally purified, gone. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of body, speech and mind. And imagine that Vajrasattva sends again light and nectar pouring from his heart to your heart. You can also recite a couple of mantras each as you're visualizing that for each visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind that we've just done, if you like. Or just imagine this light and nectar filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So really feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. So even the subtlest kind of obstacles to your enlightenment have been removed. So the next is the power of resolve. And again, I would urge everyone to rejoice, because you came here tonight to do this practice for yourselves, for your own healing, for your own spiritual development. So really rejoice for that. And also for your incredible dedication, just coming night after night. So that's amazing. So this determination we are thinking about here is to not harm, to refrain from harming. And so without this kind of decision that we want to make, we're going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this aspiration to not harm again is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So just think of something you would like to work on between now and tomorrow. Maybe you have a habit to squash ants, or talk about people behind their back, or whatever it is you do. So think, I'll refrain from this action. Or maybe you have some kind of weird thought patterns in your mind that aren't terribly helpful. Maybe you have negative self-talk. So maybe think about trying to get on top of some of these habits. And this determination to not do again is what gives us strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE would call that union oneness. So next Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So in this way, think of all phenomena as empty. They do not exist from their own side. So finally, dedicate all the merit, all this positive energy we've created in this very short half hour, doing this purification, dedicated to all those people of your life and to all the sentient beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And Phalamasa Rinpoche, O Tub Shul Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzing Kyong Pelway, Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Legmon to Drub, Padag Sog Dulje, Gondu Jab Ten Shok. Venerable One, to whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Thank you, everybody. Sweet dreams. Have a very nice sleep tonight, and lots of love. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hosting with Shayla. Lots of love to Source over there. Nice to see everybody. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Venerable.
Bye.